tranquila de oro que abre los cielos, tejiendo un nuevo mundo, con tu arcito tocando la cumbre de la montaña, cuyos ojos invitan a todo, con tu arcito tocando la cumbre de la montaña, cuyos ojos invitan a todo. Ay, mi taita ya hey. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, mi taita ya hey. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, na 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 na. Curandero poderoso, purificando, curando todo. Guías amorosas cuidando, están restaurando el equilibrio. Prisumbró pintando la selva con amor, con colores del universo. Colibrí zumbró pintando la selva con amor, con colores del universo. Ay, mi taita ya hey. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, mi taita ya hey. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, na 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 na. Ay, na 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 ay, na na
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in. This is an early bill, but it's a good bill. This is a bill that we've done plenty of times before, but we have words of other people. Some tribally affiliated, and others simply scholars that are looking to uh, put the facts in front. Now, if you do have this video, if you are currently watching this video, please do me a favor. I need you to share this video to Facebook, to Instagram, or to some social media or any social media platform. That way we can get the views, the likes, the shares, and the comments up. In me doing this, I'm gonna take my time and share this too. So just bear with me about 2 minutes while I get this stream out. Peace, Hiyoko, Chiantamo, how you doing today? What's going on? Let me see if you can free your mic because this is a new app. Let me see. Oh, drop. So I'm on here. Olo. So y'all give me 2 minutes. Let me fish this. Let me send this link out to the people, and then I'll begin with the videos, and then from the videos, I'll read and jump back and forth between them, so it can so you all can understand exactly how this is pieced together. So the one video that we're going to be watching is actual genealogist. He's Christian based, right? He is Christian based, so I do want to put that on record, but his work is amazing. And what I mean is he actually took the time to document the genetics. He took the time to do the work and actually figure out who the first Americans were. Not only did he use genetics, but he also dealt with linguistic anthropology, a science often overlooked by many scholars. And in him finding this out, what he had noticed is that let me add Unc back in. Let's see. Unc, you good?
Iyoko, yeah, the puppy made a mistake and knocked the phone down. And he
Okay,
knocked me off.
okay.
Yeah, Iyoko, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh man, they, hey nephew, they are in
Talk to me.
for they are in for a treat today. They are really in for a treat today.
Right,
What we've been saying
right,
for the longest, all thing they doing is confirming what we already see because we know who we are. That's what it is,
right,
you know.
right.
Yeah. So, with further ado, do what you do, nephew. I'm right here.
For sure. So I'm sending this link out. Paul, if you can share the YouTube link. I don't know if you have it or not. I'll send it to you on Facebook.
Actually,
That way I
you sent it to me. You sent it to me on the Facebook. So, I'm gonna put it on my page and I'm gonna tell everybody to join. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
okay. All right, all right. So, the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to start off with the videos, but I also want to let people know that a lot of this is in books. Peace, Unc. What's going on? I ain't even see you down there, Uncle Ant. What's going on, Unc? So, Arawak son, peace, much love. Thank you for tuning in. Shata Dom, thank you for tuning in. This is definitely something that y'all gonna need. I only need a couple people to begin. So let's begin. Um, and I'm gonna start with the book. I'm gonna start with the book that was written by a European, but he's an anthropologist. And in order for him to write this story, he actually went amongst 20 different tribal people to get to be able to put this book together. Now, some words are his, and other words are those of the tribal people that he linked with. And when I teach this, people are like, oh, well, it's like you're trying to recruit me. And I've always said this can be religion because I teach it so well. That people like, damn, I feel like he's tugging at me because he's trying to teach or tell me something. And at the time, I'm really not trying to accept it. Reem, what's good, cuz?
What's that?
So, oh shit, say that again.
I said, what's up, fam?
Everything, everything. So y'all, we good, right? I can start reading this shit. I can get to work. So let's see what's going on. Peace. Peace. Tyron, what's good? Hey, Ayla. Chiantamo, greetings. So let's get it. Now, this is considered the historical sketch of the Creeks. And I'll do my best to get through it without my contacts. Y'all gonna have to forgive me. But to understand Creek cosmological and mythological beliefs, it is necessary to understand the historical context in which these beliefs developed. The social entity that became known as the Creeks was composed not of a culturally homogenous people, but of groups of people from diverse tribal and linguistic backgrounds. Many of these cultural groups spoke dialects of the Muskogean language. Speakers of the Muskogee dialect of the Muskogean language included the Abika, Kusa, Kowita, Kushita, Hilawi, Ufula, Hilabib, Wakoki, Tuckabachi, Okcha, Pukana, and Seminole. The speakers of the Hichiti dialect of Muskogee included the Hichiti, Apalachicola, Shawanoki, Okmulgee, Oconee, Tamale, Chiha, and Makasaki. The speakers of the Alabama dialect of the Muskogean language included the Alabama, Kashadi, Tawasa, Powakti, and Mukasa. The Tuskegee are classified as the only group who spoke the Tuskegean dialect of the Muskogean language. In addition to the people who spoke various dialects of the Muskogean language, there were also the Yuchi, who spoke an unrelated Yuchian language, the Shawnee, who spoke Algonquin, and many other non-Muskogean speakers. The Yuchi, the Alabama, and the Hichiti already occupied the areas that are now Georgia, North Florida, and Alabama when the Muskogees migrated into the region from the west, incorporating many of these groups into their political organization. Hold on. So, the term Creek, the term Creek was first used by the English in the late 17th and early 18th centuries when Western Muskogees intruded upon and settled on the lands now occupied by the Hichiti, some of the oldest inhabitants in the southeast. They were referred to by the Hichiti as Ochesis. The British traders came to refer to them all as the Ochesi Creeks. Yo, what play on y'all boys? Let's see. So after the Yamasee War, the Ochesi Creek, like other groups, migrated westward. You might as well have that chair meet the spinning when she can come outside. Let's see, migrated westward, settling towns such as Coweta, Coshita, which were near the Chattahoochee River. The English began calling the Muskogees living on the Chattahoochee lower creeks. Eventually, all native people, including the Yuchi, the Hichiti, the Shawnee, and others living near the Chattahoochee and Flint rivers became known as the Lower Creeks. And all of those, the Alabama, Coosa, and Tallapoosa as the Upper Creeks. Despite the Europeans' perception of these people as one, many different linguistic and cultural traditions persisted among the Creeks. So the people that the Europeans are considering Creek, right? The people the people that they're considering Creek are not Creek at all, but they're different people who weren't even unified at a particular or a specific time. Now, what we notice is we have migrations or set migrations in this story, which are told by the Muskogee people. Now, with them telling this story, the Kusa, it says the people who were traveling afterward, known as Kusa or Tusa, which is where you get Tosa, they were traveling eastward towards the rising sun. This same migration is a migration that is currently repeated by so-called Muspa tribes, right? And what you'll then notice is it says that the nation of the Muskogee, peace, reads what's going on. The nation of the Muskogees, now known under the name Creeks, they had formed a separate republic to the northwestern part of Mexico, and they had numerous warriors. But it also said that their warriors are the ones who actually fought Cortez in an attempt to liberate the Azteca, right? So these warriors, they eventually lost this war, and they begin to head again towards the land of the rising sun. Now, when they made it towards this land, they began to fight the Alabama and all of these different indigenous groups to the eastern side of the Mississippi. And what actually happened, Itiampuli, what actually happened was they were able to establish themselves on these documented rivers. Coosa, Tallapoosa, Chattahoochee, Flint, Okmulgee, Little and Great Oconee, and the Little and Great Ogeechee, while pushing their settlements as far as the River Savannah. Now, when you further push yourself into this migration story, they break down the Kushita, Chickasaw, and Coweta migrations. What's not usually understood is that the Chickasaw, they actually led this migration and everyone else followed. The reason Kushida were considered the elders in the situation is because they actually won the game of war. So this book I'm only giving out to those who are tribally affiliated. So if you can show that you tribally affiliated, just hit me up and I'll drop it on you. If you need the PDF, I'll shoot it for free. Right. So the first of these to leave were called the Chickasaw because on the morning, they went out to see where the sunrise is. Now, Chickasaw in the language is Tikahasa, or those who see the sun. But here's the dagger. It shit is in so many books that you can actually find it anywhere. So this book, which I can give away, is The Invention of the Creek Nation. And the book literally opens up telling you that the Muskogee or these different groups of Muskogee were actually in not the first group wasn't the invader. It was those who followed grandma. Grandma came one time. They came when the volcano erupted in Yellowstone. So if you read The Invention of the Creek Nation, page 10 in paragraph 2, it says, determined to travel eastward to find a place to live, these people went in search of the sun. Here's the repetition. The first to find the sun were the Chickasaw. In honor of their achievement in finding it first, the Chickasaw turned around and called the second body Koshita, or those who see the sun, from which is derived the town name Kushida. The third party, trailing the others, had some difficulty in passing the barrier thicket and were left a long distance behind. For this reason, both of the advanced parties began calling the stragglers Kowada or Kowita, those who are following us. So if one says Chicasa, Koshida, Kowita, you literally form a sentence in the Muskogee language explaining the migration, which says they went to see the sun and they came following after. This is the story. So what they then explain is that this was during the time of the Mississippian era, which they consider, or they say, out of Mississippi. So in the book, The Invention of the Creek Nation, page 13, it says the Mississippian way of life emerged after 9000 AD in the wake of an agricultural revolution involving the intensification of corn agriculture. And it states that this happened during the period of global warming, and this began at Cahokia. Now, what it also says is that the Mississippian era was founded on or had prehistoric artifacts, and this is on page 15. But the southeastern Indians that they thought built them are not the ones that built them. So again, this is dealing with their migration coming across from the west. So the next text you can find this in is Deerskins and Duffels, and this has to be chapter 3. Let me see if I can find it. Was it chapter 2 or chapter 3? It's chapter 2. So it's talking about a trade alliance, and in this trade alliance, it says that this vast network of well-traveled trading paths link Indian villages across the eastern part of North America, extending from the Gulf Coast through the Appalachian Mountains and the Tennessee River on into the Great Lakes region. Salt, conch shells, feather, flint, pigment, skin, furs, cassia, silver, copper, clay pipes, and figurines were amongst the more common Aboriginal trade goods. Evidence suggests that large Mississippian complexes such as Moundville and Etowah served as staging areas that never made any sense to me. All right, let me get back in teaching mode because people keep calling me and I'm online. Don't make no sense, right? So let's get back to it. Now, in this, it says the Aboriginal trade network was so widespread that a special trade language developed to expedite these negotiations between the various tribes in the southeast. The Mobilian trade language, a mixture of Creek, Choctaw, Alabama, and other Muskogean languages, is the best known. So the Muskogean, or the so-called Alabama trade language, or the Mississippian trade language, was created of many languages, some having nothing to do with each other. Now, this language by name is called Yama because the Yama people were the ones that actually unified the people in ceremony. The issue that many are actually having is they're taking trade commodities and languages for specific commodities and forcing them on people as if those are tribal languages, but those are not tribal languages. So let me reset. Hold on, let me reset real quick, and I'm gonna drop this video, and I'll let the lady, someone who's Shata, explain how they eventually broke up on their migration, and then we'll go into a quick genetic study about the Lenape, and then we'll go into the Walla'um and also explain their migration and why the Yuchi consider them to be the grandfather as opposed to the original First Nations. So let me prepare this for you. Give me 2 seconds.
But if it wasn't the Muskogeans who were on the eastern seaboard in 1000 AD, who was? Could it have been peoples like the Muskogeans? They're not here at contact on the Atlantic or even New England, but they are eastern woodlands peoples, the Chickasaw, Choctaw, Creeks, and others. We've seen in previous episodes, they themselves say they came from Mexico and rapidly fled to avoid being enslaved by the Spanish and arrived in the southeast of the United States in the 1500s. That's too late to be on the eastern seaboard in AD 1000, so by process of elimination, we know they wouldn't have been there as well. Again, you can see that story in a previous episode. So who was here? Which people group was on the Atlantic in AD 1000 when the Europeans were in their Middle Ages? What was going on in North America? At contact, this is how it looked. Again, the tan colored here, stripes. They were here, the Algonquins are here at contact, but I just told you they weren't here in 1000 AD. Muskogeans weren't either. I don't yet have good data to tell you about the history of the Iroquois. So who's left? What candidates are there to have been on the eastern seaboard in 1000 AD? If Thanksgiving happened in AD 1000, who would have been there? You might notice, so the Iroquoians are in this pinkish red color. Blue, this purplish blue right here, is also close to the east. Who are they? And could they have had any relevance in 1000 AD to our question? Well, this is the Siouan-Catawban language family, of which the most famous tend to be the Lakotas and others.
Chickasaws and Choctaws, we share a migration story. We were once one people. We have always lived next to each other, both in the homelands and in Oklahoma. So one of our earliest stories is of the migration of the people from the west to the east, and two brothers of the tribe, Chickasaw and Choctaw, actually were leading the people. And we were led by a leaning pole and a big white dog that guarded the way. And every night we would plant the pole into the ground, and whichever way it was leaning in the morning was then the way that we would travel. So after we crossed the river, at some point we planted the pole in the ground, and in the morning the pole seemed to be going all different directions, and the brothers argued about which way it was going. And the Choctaw, the brother Choctaw, believed that it was time to stop, and Chickasaw didn't think it was and believed that we should keep going. So the people actually split at that time, and that was really the formation of the Chickasaw and the Choctaw nations.
This has been huge because it's allowed us to then compare this record to the records of other members of the same language family to which the Delawares belong, the Algic language family. So this includes Blackfeet, Cheyenne, Potawatomi, Shawnee, others. From their own histories, we've been able to line all of this up. We've got a comprehensive account now of the origin and migration of the Algic and Algonquin peoples. We've also been able to take these, and I'm going through this quickly because I've covered this in detail in other videos, we've been able to go to major events in archaeology. For example, the rise and fall of the greatest city north of the Rio Grande, Cahokia, in the late 1200s. The Red Record talks about this. So from archaeology, we know the city reached its height in the 1000s to 1200s. We know from archaeology that after it fell, another group of mounds, which I've actually been able to visit in Moundville, Alabama, rose and came to prominence. The Red Record talks about defeating the Cahokians and then those guys going south. They call them the Telegas. They went south. Anyway, there's just
So let me hold on. Let me step out the patio so I can have a clear voice when I read the wall of because this guy said something very interesting, right? And ooh, that's that good za. Woo! So with that being said, right? This is the dagger. Now he said that the Teliga, they end up fleeing south. Now, when the Teliga fled south, there was some evil shit that they were doing. Not excuse me, not the Teliga, but the so-called Lenape. What the Lenape did was they start killing off the original inhabitants and then trying to implant themselves into the women of the original mound builders, their sisters, mothers, aunties, and things like that. So I want to see if he talk about it on one of these videos I just
part of the
uploaded.
Mississippi
So
River.
let's sit back and listen.
More from Dorsey. Ages ago, the ancestors of the Omahas, Poncaws, Osages, Kansas, Kapaws, Winnebagos, all those are Sioux and Catawban language family members, but then also the Pawnee Loops or the Skiddy and Rees, which I think is another term for the Arikaras. Those are Caddoans, separate language family, who were at contact west of the Mississippi River. So more on those hopefully in a future episode. Dynamic history. Dwelt east of the Mississippi River. All these groups, they were not all in one region, but they were allies, and their general course was westward. So it says those guys dwelt east of the Mississippi, and their general course was Wakaws, the Osage, the Kansa, the
Right here, what's being explained, right, is that a lot of the people that are known as like Dakota, what's his name? The Lakota, the Osage, all of these different people, their story explained is that they come from the east. Hey, auntie, how you doing? So with them coming from the east and them eventually going out west, what they explained is that when they got further to the east, it was already people here. So they started heading out to the west. They say they end up getting to the west, and when they got back to the where it's headed to the west, it's a new people coming in, and them and that people basically switched spots, and that was who? That was the Lenape. So the Lenape, the whole time, what they would do is they would just take over somebody's shit, take over their name or take on their name, and
If
then
you're migrating,
replace
if you're
them
the
in
Siouan Catawbans and you're
documentation. Here's
migrating from
another
the
one.
east to the west, and Cahokia is right here, and there, we've seen in previous episodes, the rulers of the East. They've got an empire that covers much of the Eastern territory, likely the Mississippian culture. The chieftains expand with time, and you're going eastward, and you're going to try to keep going eastward. You're going to run into a buzzsaw. What we've seen, though, is that, and the reason I give you the dates 1050 to 1250 is the Algics came along and overthrew the Cahokians in 1250, late 1200s. So that, wrong button. If you're migrating a century earlier, you may have trouble. But if you're migrating close to where Cahokia once was, and it's the late 1300s, you don't have that buzzsaw. So there's another line of evidence to support these dates. It fits. You have earlier dates, you've got the problem of this massive enemy and empire. 1300s, they don't exist. That empire is gone, been overthrown. There's remnants of it down here, Mississippian culture. But the power they once held, you don't find it. Family to which the Delawares belong, the Algic language family. So this includes Blackfeet, Cheyenne, Potawatomi, Shawnee, others. From their own histories, we've been able to line all of this up. We've got a
They dropped the video. I'm finna upload the video. Give me 3 seconds. We're gonna replay it and let him finish that. Hold up.
family to which the Delawares belong, the Algic language family. So this includes Blackfeet, Cheyenne, Potawatomi, Shawnee, others. From their own histories, we've been able to line all of this up. We've got a comprehensive account now of the origin and migration of the Algic and Algonquin peoples. We've also been able to take these, and I'm going through this quickly because I've covered this in detail in other videos. We've been able to go to major events in archaeology. For example, the rise and fall of the greatest city north of the Rio Grande, Cahokia, in the late 1200s. The Red Record talks about this. So from archaeology, we know the city reached its height in the 1000s to 1200s. We know from archaeology that after it fell, another group of mounds, which I've actually been able to visit in Moundville, Alabama,
Basically, what he is getting across, right? I'll say getting across. What he's getting across is that when Cahokia was invaded, these people that they were invading just didn't disappear. They actually fled down to the south amongst their ancient ones. So when they fled down south amongst their ancient ones, they restart again, doing the things that they were already doing. What was that? Building mounds, practicing their own ceremonies. But there's a key here that he called them, the Taliga. The Taliga are those descendants of the mound builders. The Taliga are still here, but there was a name that, or there's a meaning in English on what they say that means, right? So Taliga or the Pine people are the original people, Talikiwi. This language was spoken and is now called Catawba Siouan. But if anybody watched my post yesterday or watched my post for the last few years, what was explained? That what people call Catawba is Yupa or Catawba Chicola or Catawba Shikori. It's Apalachicola, Yupa Chicola. So we still got the blood. We're still here. The Yama migrated into the land. The Hichiti migrated into the land. People consider them to be the same, but those of us who know they're not the same. That's a mass of people, similar like the Yama Taino. The Tamukwa came much later. The Lenape migrated in. Different groups of present day or people that live in Africa, their ancestors migrated in. Different people began to migrate into the land, but it was only these specific groups that came across from the west that brought war. When I usually say these names, trust me, people usually, start bringing them up, right? They usually, oh well, I seen that before, or I found that it might be me. Listen, it's all cool, Fi Daddy. I like it, I love it, right? But these are the facts of the matter. So you claim to be Muskogee, that's your bloodline. You're supposed to honor your bloodline. The thing is, when we talk about that migration, it isn't for you to complain or to cry about. Those are your ancestors. You should honor the things that they did. And if you aren't proud of what they did, you don't have to come to me and bitch about it. You don't have to come to me and say, oh, you told me that the Muskogee migrated to the east, so you're trying to recruit me. What the fuck does that mean? How? Aren't you Shatta? Yeah, I'm Shatta. Ain't your people always been on the South Coast? So where's the recruiting? Weren't y'all known to Shawanoki too? But nobody's studying this for real. Thank you, Shayla. Thank you. Nobody's studying this for real. Everybody is saying, you know what? I'm only gonna study it from a European point of view, and I'm gonna read what it say. Then it is what it is. You know how many niggas called the Wale Muskogee? You know how many niggas called the Wale Yamasi? Even the Europeans. You know how many people said, well, the Wale, they're isolated people. Their language is by itself. Their culture is by itself. The people is all by themselves. This is what this is literally uh this is literally uh what was going on at the time. So say camera keep pulling this camera device unexpectedly stopped working, talking about the camera. Not too much worried about that. Who else want to come in here? Let's see. Who can we let in? Pa, you on? Let's see who's in here. We got Reem,
Yep, I'm on.
cousin here too. All right, so talk to me. What do you think about how other people are now speaking on this migration of the so-called First Nations?
Well, the thing about it, I have been speaking about this for some years. And when I spoke about it, people thought I was crazy, you know. But you like, oh, but what really happened, you know? And from me talking to my elders and everything, you know, and they broke it down. And Wachi Variasi, she even broke it down and said about how they came over the Bering Strait, you know, and it's like it ceased never to fail that those people that came across the Bering Strait are still trying to fight those who are we of the descendants of the mound builder today. They still trying to fight us today. And it's funny how the United States government actually considered them as the first nation. But you gotta ask the question this: the first nation of what? That's the question. The first nation of what? Because they're not honoring us who were the first nation that was already here, who were the mound builders. Because when you ask those who supposed to came over Banner Street who built the mounds, they be like, we don't know who built them. Well, do y'all know who they are? No, we don't know who they are. Of course you know who they are. You just don't want to say it because that's going to knock your so-called pockets with the federal government. So when you have everybody who actually doing their genealogy now and finding out that, hey, we are the people of the mound builders, you know? So now those who are not mound builders say, oh, y'all not in.
You went out. What happened? Where you at? I don't know what happened. Hold on.
It's buffering, cuz.
Yeah, I view. I see they doing me dirty, bro. They sending me messages now talking.
Cause goddamn, the whole time as the video playing, I catching little pieces. Damn, cuz done dropped too.
You got me, Cole? You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for some
the
reason.
whole stream me, but in and out for me.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck going on, but it's all good. Pa, you still there?
Cause I been about to ask you to why you ain't jump on the regular thing.
Yeah, cause I had to drop these videos and shit. I'm about to I might as well run the stream back and drop
For
on
real, yeah,
StreamYard.
man. Cause I ain't really like that. Like I ain't gonna lie, I lost. I lost.
Yeah, cause this shit fucking with me, boy.
Yeah, bro.
So
I tap and then I rebuffering. I'm and then the turn and I took my Wi-Fi for a little second. So I been like, oh, where my phone? Then when I get the Wi-Fi back, he stole the thing. I like, man, I know what's going on. It might just be me.
nah, bruh, I don't know. It gotta be them too, cause this shit saying something about the camera. I keep getting a message about the camera. It's just like, oh, your back camera not working and all that type of shit. But it's like I never used the back camera.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they got going on. But let me see if I can do this real quick. Let me see if I can upload these pictures. Hold on. All right, there you go. Let me see. Paul, you can hear me?
Yeah, nephew,
All right, we back.
nephew, they kicked me
I don't
out.
know. Yeah, I don't know what the hell going on.
Yeah, they kicked me off, nephew.
Yeah, they wild. Then let me.
You,
I like how this work, but I gotta use it from the computer. Um, I'm gonna have to use it from the computer. This shit's aggravating as fuck. It keeps sending me messages about my camera for some reason, and I rarely go live with my camera on. So let me see if I can do this real quick. Let me see something. Uh, Let me see if I
but
can
yeah,
add these.
but like I was saying,
Uh,
Remember, yo,
I got you. Go ahead.
need the kids going. You wanna play Roblox? Yeah.
They kicked them again. I might have to just run this from I might just have to run this from stream.
Yeah,
Let me
I'm gonna keep going in and out, man.
I like this shit because it let me do more, but I don't be having time for the extra. Uh,
Right.
let me see if I can this picture to the screen one more time, class. Let me see if I can add this picture to the screen. Let's see. Let's see. If not, what I'll do, pop off. I'm gonna create another link, and I'm about to drop it in the comments. Everybody just rotate that link. So give me 2 seconds. I'm about to drop it into the comments, and we'll just do that because I don't know what they got going today. But this happened the other day. I did a build code. I say all my devices was fucking up. Like, I had 3 phones and a laptop. Everything moving in the fuck.
That's what we've been on Wednesday, ain't
Drop this. And do StreamYard out as a presentation. So from that big part, I'm it as a presentation. You could drop. I'm finna drop the link you now. Let me see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let me turn the Wi-Fi because I don't even have a phone. Right, so I'm dropping you now. I'll be back on that once the device is up. Get back going. I definitely don't like they doing me. They doing me dirty. Every time I talk about the Lenape though, my shit go to freezing, and I know why. That what happened when you got the bread that try to cover your lies. Shit weird. And it's wild that I just got followed by a couple Lenape on fucking Facebook, and now I can't even copy my own fucking YouTube link. Insane. But yeah, see the Lenape, they good for lying. And what I mean by that is distorting the story, right? They're good at telling the lie because they were the ones to sign those treaties. And with them signing the treaties, they had to find a way to cover up for the people that they got rid of. So this is really all that this is about when it comes to my stream going the fuck up, doing all this crazy shit. So I see y'all at 1 o'clock. Here is the link. So y'all do go click this link right here and the notification bell. I'll see y'all in the hour. Peace.